let's talk about bowl predictions for the wild card round. Pete, we each go around. We'll just do a round robin. We'll start with Pete, go to Breach, go to me. Bold prediction, Browns, Texans.
What's the bold? I mean, it has to be bold or just
any bold prediction.
Joe Flacco throws for 340 and 3.
Ooh, that was gonna be mine.
Hey, he's playoff Joe Flacco.
That's an A plus. That's an A plus for me. We'll grade yours.
Joe Flacco,
we could. In the interest of time, how about Pete gives us a bold prediction for each one, and Breach, you and I will grade it. How about that?
Okay.
All right, I give that an A plus. I think Flacco could go off. If you're going to beat the Texans, you got to beat them through the air. They can slow down the run. I think Kevin Stefanski knows it. Joe Flacco's not afraid to sling the ball around. Stefanski's not afraid to let him throw 40 times. And he's January Joe. Like, I think the Browns have a Super Bowl ceiling upside just because Flacco, again, I've said this a lot, but it's how meaningfully different is his skill set from like what it was 10 years ago. It's not. He's basically the same guy. He's a little bit older. He can win games.
And that opening game in that building will be fast too. It'll be a fast track for him.
Yep. Breach.
What was it? Flacco would throw for 340 yards
and 3 touchdowns.
Oh, and 3 touchdowns. Ooh, that adds some spiciness to it. Yeah, I'll give that an A minus. I like it. I can't be as generous as Brent, but it's a solid prediction.
Worth noting, Amari Cooper rest/heal, no practice on Tuesday. Think he should be fine but yeah, he'll play for that game. Njoku, David Njoku, Amari Cooper could have big games. Okay, Pete. Dolphins Chiefs. Tyreek Hill's first game as a visitor at Arrowhead Stadium. Of course, the Chiefs beat the Dolphins 21-14 in Germany in Week 9. I think these two teams are combined 2-9 against playoff teams this season. What's your bold prediction for this game?
That we'll hear about the weather 1,342 times during that game.
Unfortunately, it will be less because the game is only on Peacock.
But they'll still hear about it from the announcers and the sideline reporter, whoever. We're going to hear about it. Oh my God, it's so cold. And you guys know how I feel about cold ruins football games. It just does. It takes everything that you've trained to do to become a good football team and just cast it to the side. The Miami Dolphins in that weather, their offense, if everybody's healthy, will not be the same offense in that weather. And so I hate weather games. Everybody, oh, great, the snow games. It's what brought the NFL to what it is. No, it isn't. And when they did, they ran the ball 50 times a game. It's a different era. Snow, wind. If it's a snow game and it's not windy, I'm okay with that because you can still throw the football and score. If it's frigid, cold, and windy, it sucks.
Here's a bold prediction for it. I think that's
real quick to Pete's point about the weather. The Dolphins 0-10 in their last 10 games where the temperature was under 40 degrees.
I'm going to give it a C minus just because that's like a whiny old man bold prediction. He's like, hey, they're going to complain about the weather.
We're going to hear about it over nonstop. And it's cold. Great.
But isn't it a legit storyline?
I've been in Kansas City for playoff games when it's been under 0 and it's nasty.
Pete, isn't it a legit storyline though? You just mentioned the Dolphins won't play as well in cold weather, and they clearly have not played as well in cold weather. So, I mean, I feel like it is a legit storyline if it's going to impact the play on the field versus us. You know, it's not like pointing Taylor Swift in the crowd where that doesn't impact the play on the field. The weather actually has an impact.
Yeah, no, it hasn't. I get it. I just think that me personally, I don't like it. The fact that, and everybody will say, well, the Dolphins should have just won and they would have been home. I get it. But you work your whole year and you're a team that's supposed to play outside and throw the football around and be a high tempo offense, and you get caught with that. Yeah. You know, and the funny thing about that is normally we think the weather would impact the Chiefs offense, but they haven't been that this year.
Here's my bold prediction for this game. The Chiefs win by more points than Tyreek Hill has catches.
No, I don't. I agree with that one. That's not that bold. Yep. That's a D.
Yeah, so I was going to say yards, but that felt a little bold.
That would have been. That's a bold prediction.
Really bold.
All right, Chiefs win by more points than Tyreek Hill has yards.
That's not happening.
Yeah, I give the first prediction a B, the second one an A.
Bubble screens for 40 yards, and even if he doesn't go deep in the weather, no, you're crazy.
My bold prediction is that the Dolphins have their lowest point total of the year.
Ooh, that's a good one. I'll give that a B plus.
Which is what?
Their lowest right now is 14, so I'm saying they score under that.
Yeah, what did they score against the Chiefs when they played them in Germany?
14.
Yeah, there we go.
That's a classic.
That's not really bold then, because the weather was pretty good in Germany, and it wasn't.
It's the lowest point total of the year.
That's classic. That's classic breach. So it's like you're like, oh, 14. That's a really bold.
That's not really bold. That's not really bold. The Chiefs held them to 14 last time in good conditions, and now it's going to be the frozen tundra. No,
that's a quintessential breach bold prediction. I love it. Steelers Bills. This is a game on CBS and, of course, streaming on Paramount Plus. We can't wait for you to watch it. 7 seeds, 0-6 in the wild card round in the current format. The Bills have won 5 straight games, and the Steelers have won 3 straight games. Bills a 10-point favorite here, Pete. What's your bold prediction?
How many starts in a row is this for Mason Rudolph now?
This is 4th.
He will be 9 of 27 for 112 yards and 2 picks.
That is highly specific. God. 9 of 27 for 112 yards and 2 picks.
Yep.
All right. I mean, I give that an A. That's
the quarterback.
Pretty good.
Usually these backup quarterbacks, they turn into who they are in game number 3 or 4. So I'm going to say he turns into Mason Rudolph in game 4.
Yeah, I'm going to give that an A too for this. It was so specific and also could actually happen.
Yeah. I think that could happen. All right.
Did you have anything for a bold prediction, Brinson?
I was going to say that.
By the way, Brinson, you have the Bills as a Super Bowl team. You might be spot on that, and I'm kind of angry at myself for not picking them because I picked Jacksonville like a moron.
And you picked the Bills last year too.
You know, I'm Josh Allen. You know what I think about him as a player.
I mean, yeah, no, you said it on HQ. I mean, you're the Josh Allen guy.
Like, I mean, I always have been, and I still don't understand the venom directed at that guy.
I think it's just sort of everyone was wrong about him coming out of Wyoming.
And do they still want to be right? Would they still want to be right about him? You can't be right about him anymore. You missed. It's over.
I mean, yeah.
I'll give you an example. The other night, in the first half of that game, the interception to Gabe Davis, that was 0 blitz. He's got to read that. Gabe Davis ran the wrong route. He's got to read that better. Okay?
Yeah.
The second interception was a 4th down play. He's just heaving it up to try and make something happen. Otherwise, they get the ball right there anyways. So that was not an intercept. That interception gets an asterisk. The fumble was a bad play in the pocket inside the red. And the end of the half, inexcusable for a guy like him. Inexcusable. But then he gets the second half and he carried that team. He finished in that game? Like 75% completion percentage with 360 yards, 2 touchdowns, and he ran for 60?
Oh, because he dominated the second half. Well, I mean, but everybody who was against Allen would use the first half as an argument saying, well, this is the downside. This is if he plays like this, they're going to lose in the playoffs. If he plays like second half Josh Allen, they're going to win the Super Bowl. So it's a full roller coaster ride.
But I'm going to give an example. Those same exact numbers, same exact game. If Lamar Jackson has that same exact game, everybody goes nuts. The 60 yards, the great runs, they go nuts. Yes, they do.
I mean, if his first half is that bad, I don't know.
It wasn't that bad. It was not that bad. Do you count the end of the 4th down interception, or you give him credit for trying to make a play rather than give him the ball right there?
It's an interception. It counts.
Oh, come on.
All right, Packers Cowboys. Green Bay 7.5 point dog. These teams have met in the playoffs a ton. Of course, Mike McCarthy revenge game here against his old team. Cowboys have been 12 straight playoff trips without making the conference championship game, the longest drought of all time. Pete, what's a bold prediction for Packers and Cowboys?
The 2 quarterbacks combined to throw for 650 yards.
Ooh.
Wow. How many?
650.
That is a ton. That as many as Manning and Romo had in that game in Dallas at one time?
It's going to be a shootout. And Jordan Love is playing great football, and Dak Prescott will be able to throw against that secondary. So I think it's a shootout. Love the over.
650 yards. I like it. I think you actually feel like the Packers. I'll give that a B plus. I feel like you think the Packers could actually win this game.
I do, but I don't think they will.
I don't think they will either. I think they keep it within the number. Breach, what's your grade for 650 yards?
If the Packers were going against the Lions on the road, I feel better about them having a chance to win.
I give Pete an A minus, and I think I am literally on the same page with pretty much everything Pete has said so far, because my bold prediction for Bills Steelers was going to be that Mason Rudolph throws for under 100 yards. And Prisco's out here giving his exact stat line, and it's completely believable. And my prediction for this one was that both teams score at least 30 points, and Pete's out here saying it's to be a shootout with 650 passing yards. So this is, I'm almost afraid.
I'm afraid too.
The world is going to end. The
A little
apocalypse.
nervous too. I kind of agree with all of these as well. I feel like maybe this a little bubbly and insular. Like there's a lot of people out there who are going in different directions. Hopefully, Rams Lions, the game of the year, of the century, of the week. The Matthew Stafford Bowl, future Hall of Famer Matthew Stafford, his first game back in Detroit as a visitor and his first ever playoff game in Detroit, not to mention the first time in NFL history that two quarterbacks who were traded for each other are playing each other in a playoff game. Everything at stake here, Pete. What's your bold prediction for Rams at Lions?
Is that really the first time that two guys traded for each other have been played against each other?
In a playoff game.
Really?
I'm like 99% sure.
Yeah,
I can see the wheels turning on. He's like, can I outsmart our research team?
No, I don't. Maybe our research. Maybe I always thought did Norm Snead and Sonny back in the day, didn't they play against each other?
Maybe it's the Super Bowl era.
Did Dirk Jurgensen and Dirt Helmet play each other?
Who was Norm Snead traded for? Go look that up for me. And I think
according to the Elias Sports Bureau, Sunday's game between the Rams and Lions will be the first matchup in NFL postseason history between starting quarterbacks who are both facing their former teams.
Weird. I could have swore it happened before, but maybe I'm wrong.
Did you say
Norm
Snead?
He was traded from the Eagles to Washington and vice versa or whatever. I think, if I'm not mistaken.
Do they meet in the playoffs though?
I think they might have. No, maybe not.
Eagles send Jurgensen to Washington and trade for Snead.
They never played the playoffs after that, huh?
It's
Let's
like
see,
that trade.
hold on.
The trade went down on April 1st, 1964.
This would be so. They could have meant Super Bowl error too. Let's see. I'm looking up maybe
they didn't play in the playoffs.
They don't have the game logs for the playoffs in here. I don't think.
Well, did they play? Did the two teams play in the playoffs?
I'm trying to find, man. I'm trying to find.
Yeah, I mean it's possible, but that's one where I thought Jurgensen and Snead.
I love that I said that and you're like, hold on a second.
And he pulls up the trade from
What
1961.
about Norm Snead?
They did not, Pete, because the Eagles did not make the playoffs between 1961 and 1977.
Okay,
There we go.
all right.
Where did Norm Snead go to college? I only know this because I have to say.
I have no idea.
If I think about it, I could get that.
It's close to me.
Huh?
Sonny Jurgensen, born in Wilmington, North Carolina.
Yes, he was. Where did Norm Snead go to school? He didn't go to NC State. He didn't go to he went to North Carolina, didn't he?
Wake Forest.
Wake.
He's the number 2 overall pick in the draft.
Sonny Jurgensen went to Duke.
Yeah.
How about these two academic geniuses? All right. Well, wait, what was your bold prediction
for that game? Track meet. So I'm going to go same way, up and down. They're going to go up and down. You're going to go for each team will score 30.
Okay, 60 points would be a lot. That would hit the over for sure. I tend to think I agree with that. I think it's hard to. I've seen some people suggest that. So I would give it a B plus. I mean, I think the over under is 51.5. I'll say a B. I don't want to be too generous. I've seen some people suggest that they think these two games could be low scoring. I don't see how. I think it's
not. I don't see that either.
You just got these surfaces that are conducive for lots of points.
By the way, the Rams' offensive line is really good.
Sean McVay deserves some coach
You
of
know,
the year love.
I give Les Snead props all the time, but I think he's done an amazing job with that team.
You going to give Stafford an MVP vote?
No.
Boo. Okay.
But I have nothing but the respect for Matt Stafford as a quarterback. You know that. I always have.
He's getting to the Hall of Fame. Don't you agree?
Probably.
Oh,
But
yeah.
if he makes another run in the playoffs, he's definitely getting to the Hall of Fame.
If they make it to the Super Bowl, I don't think he has to win. I think if they make it to the Super Bowl, he's a lock.
Yeah, probably getting it.
All right. Breach, any grade for this?
A-.
Okay. Finally, Eagles at Buccaneers. The Eagles limping into the playoffs as the 5 seed. The Bucs win the division. Pete, that's one of your, I'm not going to say preseason misses, because I think one of your preseason regrets, you wanted to take the Bucs and bailed on them after the second trip to Tampa Bay. The Bucs defeated the Eagles 31-15 in the wild card game of the 2021 season. Tom Brady in that game, of course. Jalen Hurts' first career playoff game that year, 2 interceptions. Eagles lost 5 of the last 6. Bucs won 5 of the last 6. But the Eagles did beat the Bucs up in week 3 with a decent game from Jalen Hurts. What's a bold prediction here?
Baker Mayfield outplays Jalen Hurts.
That's a good one. I give it A-.
I'll give it a B+. Who are you predicting to win, Pete? Give us a preview of your picks for tomorrow, for Wednesday.
Katie Fox.
I'm probably going to pick the Bucs to win that game.
Ooh.
I'm going to pick the Cowboys to win, close, high scoring. I'm going to pick probably the Rams in an upset.
Ooh.
That's always good too, because you annoy Rick Spielman when you pick against the Lions, since his brother works for the Lions too. No, I don't know. I'm picking in that game. I haven't really picked that one yet.
Hey, Washington got those Lions coordinators interviews quick, didn't they?
Yeah,
it's like the first
the Bills
ones announced.
are going to blow out the Steelers. The Chiefs are going to win and cover against the Dolphins. That Dolphins team is a shell of itself.
Rams
And
and
what
Bucs.
about-
Talking about Mike McDaniel being in trouble down here. That's ridiculous.
What?
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Because his brand of football doesn't work in December?
And then the Browns are going to beat the Texans.
By how many? Over or under 8?
By 5 or 6.
Ooh, okay.
And then what's the other game I missed? I'm missing one.
Rams
You
Lions.
got them all.
I got them. I think that's all of them. But yeah, that's preview.
I think only Bucs and Rams are the upsets I've got.
Bucs, Rams, and you don't. Yeah,
Browns are
that's what
favored in Houston.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's take a break.
But having said all that, I've been saying this for a while, Prince, and you know this. I think the playoffs are going to be wacky as can be, and we're going to see some weird teams get in.